This episode is brought to you by RIXX Eyewear. Eyewear that inspires confidence. If you would like to buy some premium eyewear, sunglasses, blue light frames, prescription, head online now, rixxeyewear.com.au and check it out. Caps has been Australia's home of headwear since 2012. From snapback to fitted, curved peak to flat peak, our hats will fit anyone and everyone. Since then, we've grown and evolved into the leaders of US sports apparel in Australia. Head online at caps.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's good to be with you. Aces in Business. I tell you what, it has been a massive few weeks. Before we jump into the Aces in Business platform, Tommy Talks is flying, ladies and gentlemen. The last two episodes, Thanasi Kokonakis, Elliot Loney, Rory Atkins, they're blowing up the internet. Podcast of the Year was used as well. But we're very, very happy to see that. And thank you for everyone that's been tuning in and subscribing. Onto the Aces in Business platform. Tommy Mitchell was our last guest. Was a great episode, a former Brownlow medalist. Ball magnets, as you guys might have heard, his application that's helping young kids around the country get better at footy. It's a truly insane business he's got going there and definitely helping the community. But today, more importantly, we have a very unique business, I would say. One of the three founders is with us. His name's Gostencnik from Bae Juice, a Korean pear juice that is there to cure hangovers, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you what, a few of us have had a few of them in the past few weeks since the New Year. So Liam, mate, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in the van, mate.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is unbelievable, this setup. I love it. Unique.
It is. It's a great setup. And, mate, on behalf of everyone in the world, thank you for, thank you for creating this product.
Yeah. We don't get enough thank yous, to be honest. No, we don't. No, the feedback's good. It's it's obviously we're creating a new and bizarre market. No one's really heard of it here in Australia. So exists on some levels in other countries. But, yeah, sort of introducing this bad boy to the Australian market.
I will say we all smashed one at the Ascot Vale hotel for the Super Bowl party. You saw the Bae Juice everywhere. No doubt there's a connection there, which we'll tap into in a minute. But it worked a treat, mate. We couldn't have drank many more beers, and I felt fine the next day.
$150 for free piss between the first whistle and the last. It was
you're paying $150 for just one of them things.
It was a dark day. Yeah. But you know what's funny, Liam? He was a few minutes late because we wanted to have a taste of the product. We wanted to have a visual of the product, and apparently you had to go into Woolies to buy your own product.
Hang on, you're missing a point there. He didn't just go to one, he went to a few. The products are flying.
Well, yeah, $3 promotion on at the moment, so they fly off the shelves half price.
They always do the sales.
Yeah.
You got to settle on the sale sometimes because you don't want to train the customers to buy cheap all the time. But geez, they come from everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's it goes well in Woolies. Obviously, massive gap, biggest. Like since we've gotten into Woolies and not into Coles, I've sort of been saying that Woolies is the biggest supermarket chain in Australia. But once it goes on promotion, we actually had to push them back because we didn't have enough stock over the sort of January, February period. We went nuts in December, as you can imagine. So we had to push out these promotions, but they're back on now.
Well, mate, we appreciate you being here. We've got a lot to get through. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, a Korean pear juice. There's such a fascinating backstory to this business. So I think it's only right, Tommy, that that it might be time for us to talk some business. What do you think?
Let's talk some business, Jakey.
Liam, you ready for some business, mate?
Go on.
Mate, now I've got a hard-hitting question. We do ask some hard-hitting questions on Aces in Business.
Love them.
And this is an application me and you are not very... it's foreign to us, let's say, but I just want to ask, how pivotal was Tinder to this business starting?
But I'd like to say first that I had no involvement in the Tinder side. Gave that out years ago. But Tim was into the swiping left and swiping right, and met a Korean girl on there about probably 6 years ago now, a long time ago. Korean girl. Traveling the world like those nuts backpackers do, they just pick up from home and just say, Mum and Dad, I'm going. I'm not like that. Sumin was. Spent a lot of time in New York and then met Tim here in Melbourne and, rocked up to a sort of a somewhere bar in Chapel Street.
Yep. Being famous.
Yeah, Tim used to work there. So, just said, can I get a pint of draft and a shot of whiskey? That was her order. So
we respect that instantly.
Yeah. So I think Tim was, pretty hooked after that. And then, fast forward to going to meet the parents over in Korea. Over he went. He reckons, from what I've heard as well, that Koreans will drink us Aussies under the table every day of the week. So, I think we get on a bit up on our high horse here in Australia about how good we are at, drinking piss, basically. The Koreans are nuts. So, you walk into a 7-Eleven, there's a whole fridge of these pear juices, hangover products, just targeted at, helping your hangover. And, Tim waking up hungover and his Sumin's mum's feeding him like actual slices of the pear, shoving it in his mouth. Eat this. And he's just feeling great. And I'm back here flogging away in commercial real estate. We always wanted to start something. And, Tim goes, what do you reckon? And, brought some product back. We looked around in Melbourne, couldn't find it anywhere. Jumped online, found a CSIRO article that was basically like Korean pears fucking work when it comes to reducing hangovers. And then that was it. Found a manufacturer. Shipment was here. Bang, we're away.
What is it that's in the Korean pear that actually...
So it's a little enzyme in there. It's like you can research the whole word. It's about 100 letters long, but the acronym for it or whatever they call that is it's called DHM. Basically speeds up your metabolism of alcohol, so flushes it out faster, and that's why we get people to drink it before you get on the piss. Drink it, before you get into bed. The next day is probably too late. The only thing that's going to fix you there is a large quarter pounder meal, but so you get it down the hatch and it sort of takes the edge off. It's a difference between really being bedridden and
Yeah, right.
getting up and doing something on your Sunday arvo.
So have a Bae Juice before you go out, and also just before you get into bed when you get home at 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah, if you can remember, kick the shoes off, have a Bae Juice and jump into bed,
It's like to bookmark your hangover.
Seriously. Now, for the listeners, you've mentioned Tim O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
He's the other founder, obviously, of the brand. Now, he's got a pretty fascinating backstory, and I'd like you to maybe elaborate on it, so I won't say it, but essentially he, from what I understand, he went over to Korea to meet Sumin's family, the young girl he met, the Korean. And
meet the in-laws.
Yeah, one of the things he shared, which is a bit foreign to us, but we are accustomed to it, obviously us Australians travelling to Bali, is being able to pick up alcohol in your local 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
And he shared a bit of insight that when they would start to go out to have a drink, because he shared it was like a 2-week bender with the family. He would grab a beer and everyone would grab a Pear Juice.
Yeah, correct.
So is that where the light bulb kind of flicker came on?
Yeah, I think so. I reckon. Which is I think Tim and I both we're best. I'm always good when I'm tipsy as well. So like, I think it's the best thing in life you can be. But the light bulb moment in there going, shit, we've got it. This is just something that'll work in Australia with the culture, and we can sort of take something. What we've done is really taken something that's really traditional over there. We've sort of westernized it, given it a bit of just give it a bit of oomph, and created this big, bold, large, in your face brand. That sort of aligns with drinking alcohol. It's a party. It's they're having a good time with mates, with family, with friends and stuff. So that's sort of the angle we've gone with our product.
That's crazy. So is it like a Korean myth or like common knowledge in the culture Pear Juice is
habitual over there? It's just like
that's
you're
so
not
strange,
drinking.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's nuts, isn't it? Because I think Aussies are a bit laid back with that. I think Asian people in general, like, just that they're more problem solving. There's all you go over there. There's all these gadgets for shit that we just don't bother about here, and so I think Aussies sort of just it's like an old friend coming to visit the hangover in the morning. It's like we find a lot of people here go, oh mate, I don't get hangovers.
Bullshit.
That's
stuff. It's normally from old people. It's like, if anything to go by with what my mum tells it, she's knocked out for a week.
Yeah, it's
a week, and even nowadays I'm getting sort of late 20s, and you go, fuck. Day 3.
They're getting harder, these hangovers, aren't they?
I know.
It's terrible. So, I just think there's a lot of people out there, especially maybe the youth and maybe females, a bit more than men, that if it knocks 20% off your hangover, I'll take it.
Oh, 1%.
Yeah.
So, 1% is in life.
So I think part of the challenge for us has been educating people on it and sort of forcing it down their throats, so to speak. We spent a lot of time over New Year's and festivals, up in Queensland, down here in Melbourne, which is. I'm not a big festival goer, but
it's just the age thing. I think when we're a bit younger,
everyone goes, "Geez, that's a great." It's not as good as you think, but we're slaving away. We're slaving there. We're not getting paid by by our company to be there. So just handing it out.
It's good hustle.
But by the time you're at a festival, you start at 12. Once you if you're there after 2 p.m, the people that are coming in after sort of 2, 3 p.m. in the afternoon are gone. So we were kind of like, after the first day up Wildlands in Queensland, we're handing product out, great conversations to everyone. How you going? How this? Everyone's like, going nuts, taking photos, all that kind of stuff. And after 2:30, people just storming past you. Don't want a bar. Yeah, absolutely not a bar.
It was a sweet spot. So we're just some quick ones for everyone listening, watching. Just we're going to go quick fire here, and we'll
100%.
dive into this whole business soon. When was this start? When did this start?
February. We say January 2019. That's when we got our first ship. That's when we started. But we were building the brand for 6 months.
Yeah,
before
you always
that.
build that. Great.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of you. So there's you, Timmy, and Sumin.
Yeah, correct.
So there's
founders. Yeah, founders.
Three founders.
Yeah.
I guess we won't ask how big it is now because we're going to talk about what's next and how it all started. Yeah. What I will say is, like, distribution and manufacturing, we're going to get into it, but like, what was there's a lot that goes through my head. Obviously, it's not just any product here. It's not a pair of sunnies where you find so not a product. It must be very hard to get food into this country.
Yeah, well, there's all the things that you just don't, like, for instance, Brad and Nick are opening a new pub the other day, and they're going to me on Friday. They're like, look at the steak knives we're getting for the pub. And I thought, well, they're good steak knives, but then you go, isn't that funny that you have to, that's something you have to fucking think of when when you're starting a restaurant. What steak knives are we going to use? You look at our product here, and you got someone, we asked, some expert in the field about sort of, legalities around packaging and things like that. And she goes, you got this cap there, that'll be a choking hazard, got to whack a choking hazard warning on. Oh, what's it got? Is anyone allergic to pear? You got to have allergens in there. We didn't have the 10-cent refund thing on the packet for ages. And on the front, it's got no artificial colouring on the bottom. We used to have reduced hangover symptoms, which is a big no-no. But we just thought, how bad can it be at the start? If someone comes along and finally tells us we can't do that, they're not going to close the doors to our manufacturer. They're probably going to tell us you got to get that off the packaging. But let's see how long we can keep it on there. So it's just as obvious, when we're educating the market. Oh, what does that product do? Oh, it's got a tick saying reduce hangover symptoms. So that's something that we put on the package.
Who's the person that tells you that? Who's picking that up and going, you've got to be more defined here with your language?
Well, there's the TGA is obviously a big one here, Therapeutic Goods Administration, which sort of, police that kind of stuff. And then there's FSANS, which is just basically pages and pages of legislations between what you can say about certain health claims and stuff for New Zealand and Australia. So when it comes to reading that legal jargon off.
Are you reading it, or are you getting some specialist to read it?
It's a bit of both. I'm reading it to look important, and then just being like, all right. Our lawyers, I sit on a meeting with them, I say, you're talking to a Labrador, give me the 3-word definition of that. Give me the dumb
That's
down.
good.
Don't, fill it with all this fucking.
I've said that before. I said, talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old kid. And people go, the fuck? Maybe talk to me like a Labrador then.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll use the Labrador.
Yeah, Labrador's a good one.
Essentially, just get rid of the jargon and just dumb it down and give me the key points. I'm not here all day.
Exactly. Well, the good thing about, I hate Zoom. I'm sick of Zoom. I want to go meet face to face, now. Get back to it. But you can, if you're looking like dumbified or looking stupid on this call, and I've got a terrible poker face as well. So as soon as the lawyer starts talking all these 8-syllable words and fucking all this shit, you just start going like this, and you just turn the camera off.
It must be hard for a lawyer to try and dumb it down for people when they're so wide to just.
It must be so annoying for them as well.
What I mean?
It's a waste of time.
Like, I've learnt all this jargon my whole life, and then having to dumb it down for someone.
Well, I put it in the same field, like helping my mum out with something around technology, or like with the TV, she's hopeless. One phone call a week I get. Yeah, you just got to give them the old IT. Have you turned it on and off?
The basics.
Yeah, the basics. But I imagine that's what it'd be like for them. You go to uni for 30 years like the lawyers do. How long they go? I can't believe that they spend that many.
They're the one. We'll talk about the school system later. I've picked up a few things you've said, but I think they're the one I guess, they're the people that have to go to uni and they have to go to school and do everything by the letter. But everyone else, I think they can make it in the real world without all the degrees.
I think the game's changed with that kind of stuff, and we can talk about it later. But yeah, for the packaging, that's sort of, you sort of find out all these little things that, luckily for us, there's a free trade agreement with, Australia and Korea. No import tax on our product.
Brilliant.
And we're GST exempt in this country. If you've got a product that's over 90% pure vegetable or pear juice, you don't have to pay GST.
While we're on the product, just break it all down. You spoke about what's in it there.
Yeah, it's one whole Korean pear. One whole pear. I don't know if you've seen.
Is there a difference between a Korean and?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a cousin of the Nashi pear. Have you heard of a Nashi pear?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
So they don't look like the pears here. They're obviously different. They're sort of big yellow. They're almost half a head size.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're enormous over there, and we get it grown in Naju, which is kind of like the home of the historical home of the Korean pear over there. So we got the biggest manufacturer in Korea doing our pears for us. In Naju, if you go to this rural town in Naju, you know how like Ballarat, for instance, they'll have like a town flag, but you wouldn't know what's on it. But if you Googled it, you'd find it. So Naju has this pear, and it's just like a pear with a smiley face on it and a stick figure. So they love that. It's like they're very, very patriotic people, the Koreans. Like probably just behind the Americans. What do you think how nuts America are?
Yeah,
their country. So it's all done over there. Comes here, lands in either Sydney or Melbourne, then goes to one of our 3 warehouses across the country, and into the consumer's hands.
Where are the 3 warehouses located?
Perth, Victoria, and New South Wales.
Do they 3PL?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, so Mondo Nissan do all our stuff. Mondo Nissan, they sort of bought Nudie orange juice probably 3-4 years ago now. They do like sort of Chabanis, the dips and stuff like that. So Peckish, those gluten-free crackers. And they're doing about 100 containers a week, like nuts.
That's brilliant.
Massive business. So, they do all our stuff. We've got some warehouses. Then we're sort of distributed by various distributors, through ALM who look after IGAs, and we've got the Forage Company who own Remedy Kombucha, and they're doing sort of little independents for us as well across the country, cafes, bottle shops, supermarkets, independent supermarkets. So, it's a big moving beast at the moment.
That's a lot of moving pieces. Where does the word Bae come from? Because obviously in our language, we've got a abbreviation of it.
I didn't even know what that was until we launched it, but Bae is a Korean word for pear. I just thought Bae was sort of an abbreviation, like sort of take out the B in Bae, but
it's
apparently
genius.
Tim's. We worked at Tim's sort of family cafe for 3 years, hospo, before we sort of put ourselves on a wage for this, slaving away in hospo. By the way, I love hospitality, but. So a lot of the cafe's full with 19, 20-year-old girls just out of school, because there's 2 high schools out there, and they were always coming there. So a lot of them had a job, and they're going, Bae's before anything else. I'm like, what? Sure. So they're like, yeah. I'm like, I think that's the first time I felt a bit old, when you've got a younger generation going, as if you didn't know that.
That's golden.
But then it kind of works well with our product as well, because we're trying to get people to drink before it. So before anything else,
what's the saying? The slogan there? Bae before you play.
Bae before you play. Yeah,
it's catchy. I tell you what, it's marketing genius.
It's our Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah. I will say, well done. The packaging's fantastic.
It is.
It looks fantastic. It tastes great, and it does a great job. So well done. There's so many little things, Jakey, that goes into this. Like just what you just said before, like all these little things you got to write on, otherwise product's done.
Yeah. Well, they took us off the shelf in South Australia in Darwin for not having the 10-cent refund thing on.
Wow.
Because it's about to be, I think it might already be in New South Wales now. We had 100,000 units in the warehouses with that on. So we had to get all these stickers produced, and then pay labour costs for other people in the warehouse.
Margins going through the floor.
Yeah,
mate, it's a beast, this business.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to swim in the deep end with 3 bricks tied to you. That's what it looks like.
Coming out with some great metaphors. Talk to me like a Labrador. 3 bricks in the deep end.
Have you ever tried to do that, mate?
No way. Wouldn't be able to swim. But I've got now for you guys, it's quite lonely at the top, especially when you start a business. And I've heard you actually speak about this before on a podcast, but I do want to just share the definition of the word hustle. Because it's to push roughly and jostle, and the noun is a state of great activity.
Yeah.
Now, me and Tommy, we love hustlers. We love guys that got ambition. But does the word or the the car, the vehicle, Toyota Corolla mean anything to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can
I
you
drove
give
it here to see me drive.
No,
It's
I
parked
haven't.
behind a Bentley.
Yeah, we're in a very luxurious street
I went
here.
right up his ass as well. Yeah.
Can you tell us about those early days when with some of those first shipments of products and,
Yeah.
and you know how that was, how you were getting your product to your customers?
Yeah, well, obviously I'd written off my car by then. I didn't write it off. I just drove it into the ground, where I'd sold it for $300 cash.
Done the exact same thing with me Toyota Camry in Perth. I forgot to put oil in it.
Oh, no.
Blew it up. Got 200
Oh,
though.
no.
So yeah,
Well,
scrap
side
metal.
story, like this, I call this guy up because I'm like, I need to get rid of my car. It's just sitting out there, probably sitting out so much outside that the neighbours are going to call the cops. It hasn't been moved because it's just undrivable. The guy goes, yeah, mate, we're, what are those scrappers? We're scrappers. We'll pick it up, $300 cash, no worries. The guy gets to me and he goes, put the bonnet up, check the engine. He goes, oh, it's a write-off. He goes, we'll take this for free, mate. I said, I know it's a write-off. That's why you're a scrapper, mate. Like, I'm like, that's why I called you. And you said $300 cash. He goes, nah, mate. I said, well, get in your truck and piss off. Stop wasting my time. I'm not giving it to you for free. I'm like, want something out of this.
Oh, my
asking for much.
It's worth nothing.
Talk about hustle.
And he goes, oh, okay, I could do 150. I said, mate, the deal on the phone was $300. Stop wasting my time. He goes, all right, brother, I'll call my boss. He's probably on the phone to his missus. He walks up there, he comes back 5 minutes later. He goes, mate, the boss said I could do 150 max on this. So I said, oh, no worries, get in your truck. See you later. Blah, blah, blah. I'll find someone else. Yeah, brother, come back. I said, mate, just give us $300 cash. That was a deal. That's why I called you out here. And he goes, all right. Then he opens his own wallet.
Oh, no.
This guy's just a driver in a high-vis, opens his own wallet and gets 650s out. And he goes, here you go. Gives them to me, right? And his truck's parked around the corner and he goes, no worries, just drive it round to the... I said, no, deal's done. Here's the keys. You drive it round, mate.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously, stiff-armed him.
Yeah, you got to win.
Wow, that's
And what was the question? Toyota Corolla.
yeah,
I know where you're
days.
going. We were, we had no plan when this, we had no website, nothing like that, So when the product comes and you're not in stores, obviously you got to try and get some e-commerce sales, but we really had no platform to get on. But the idea from the get-go, we didn't have a marketing strategy or a business plan, nothing like that. It was just let's look busy, let's look like, So we just basically spent 2 days, filled up my mum's Toyota Corolla. You couldn't have got an A4 bit of paper in there after, it was pretty dangerous. You couldn't look in the mirrors or out the back.
Just the side ones.
Yeah, just the side ones. Timmy in the passenger seat and with the list, and we just went to start off with friends, drove, and we just spent, we did a road trip around Melbourne, suburbia in Melbourne for 2 weeks, basically giving it to anybody who, replied to us on Instagram saying, bring us over, friends of friends, family, the occasional, there's a Facebook, Instagram page called The Real Dads of Melbourne, and that was like day 2. And they're a gay couple, and they've got this adopted kid who's great, and so they just and they flog a lot of stuff, and they do it for free essentially. They don't have I don't think they have any management who takes a clip. They don't charge, and they just said we love supporting small brands. Bang. So wow. we dropped over, and there was a story up on Instagram that night, and it's like. You think of it now, you go, that'll be all right. But, when you're just 2 days in.
That's a big win.
You quit your job to go do this. It's, high-fiving strangers on the night bus home kind of vibe.
He's on fire.
That is brilliant. That is hustle at its best.
Yeah.
And so what you've done there, you've gone, right, products arrived.
Yeah.
Let's get it out. Instagram is, now TikTok, our friend, we think TikTok's the next best thing.
Yeah,
but
we love it.
Yeah,
Instagram was humming, and you've just said, you know what, fuck it, Timmy, let's just put an Instagram story up and say, who wants one? We're
Exactly.
driving to their house. And that's what you did.
100%. And we didn't make much song and dance about what we were doing before we launched. So when it happened, the thought process was we want to have our friends of friends going, what is that? What have you got there? Start the conversation, word of mouth happening. That's what we really wanted to start happening, basically that's where we got, we're dropping off to randoms. We go, oh, so-and-so, don't you? Yeah, there you go, mate. Like, that's great. Yeah.
How hard was it to keep the secret? Because I remember when I was starting, I was the worst. I was telling everyone about how I'm creating this sunglass brand before I even did the business plan and marketing plan. So you've obviously done the opposite. You've just kept a lid on it, and then you said, bang, we're on. Who wants one?
Well, exactly. And I'm working in real estate as well. Like his parents had just bought the cafe by then for about a year. So that was
pretty busy.
Starting to hum, yeah. And I'm working, stupid o'clock, from 7 a.m. to stupid o'clock at night in real estate. And you get to the end of the year and it's busy. You're selling a lot of property sort of in the December period, trying to people get stuff away before, the new year. But you're also doing a lot of planning for the next year. And I sort of knew I wasn't going to be around for that. But so
was that why you kept a lid on it? Because you guys had commitments at the time, or was it more than that?
I don't know. I just
Poker face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be hard. You're right. Really hard.
I just wanted to go out as well in real estate with a bit of dignity. You don't want to, if you sort of say 6 months out, look, this is what's going to happen. Like you just got sort of pushed to the corner and, I just thought I would have checked out a lot earlier. And so I just gave my two weeks notice, start of the next year and just went bang,
So just on that, let's just go through because everyone listening, give them some context. So school, Xavier boy.
Yep.
Timmy, Xavier boy.
Yep. Up until year 10. Yep.
Okay. And then out of school, did you go to university?
Nah. Oh yeah, I did for 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah. I went to my first 2 lectures, late for my first shoot, need to go to the toilet, sat down on the toilet and just thought, what am I doing here? And deferred, got my laptop out, deferred, got in the car, drove home.
There you go.
Tommy, your cousin Jimmy's going to get some ideas here.
Got me cousin here, everyone that can't see me in the corner on work experience. Said, come in here, mate.
He's working him overtime.
He's a bit of a hustler, actually. He's just started flogging sneakers. So anyone needs dunks and all that
people
online.
make a squillion out of that. Yeah. I saw there's this one kid in America, you probably know his name. He's just that, and he's like 14.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle? Sneakernet AU. Anyone out there that needs some sneakers, Sneakernet AU on Instagram.
Blow up his DMs.
And Jimmy will sort you out. He's sorted a few boys out already.
He needs to buy a suit next time he comes in.
Surely I get a free pair for wasting 20 seconds on my podcast, mate.
Good.
I love that. I wish I'd started something like that earlier.
Yeah, it's great. He's saying how hard it is, and obviously the margins aren't great. He's learning, what products to sell and what not, and obviously being the middleman in the distribution model is not great.
Margins are never good unless you're a drug dealer, though.
Yeah. Don't listen to ears, would you? Okay, so you've quit uni, and then you've gone into real estate. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I was just young, sort of money hungry, just thought, I'll make a quick buck here.
And how did you get into real estate?
I went into you do a 1 week course at the RIXX, and it's like agents rep. I think I went to 2 days.
Tick the box.
Yeah, I went to 2 days, I reckon. My attendance record wasn't great in anything really, but I went to 2 days and you get 3 assignments, and I just thought I'll just sit on Google and teach it all myself, rather than, because you go in this room and it's just full of I was 18, 19 at the time, I reckon, but it was full of people midlife crisis.
Yeah, I've actually done that.
Yeah,
and it's
35, and
he's spot on.
They all think they're going to be millionaires, and I was one of them. But I'm like, but that's why I was like, I'm 18, 19. Like I know nothing of the world. Like surely now I know how hard it is to it is to make money when you're starting out with something. But yeah, they're all like 35. Oh yeah, I used to be a teacher or fiery or whatever, and you just go back to saving lives. Like it's creating. It's a way better job. But so and then I did. Where did I go from there? I did like sort of a couple of work.
How long were you in real estate though for?
4 years.
Oh, so you just brushed over that like you weren't.
Yeah, that was like
4 years of real estate.
Yeah, that's a crack, mate. That's a fair crack.
So you're selling houses. You're selling. Shout out to Rain and Horn, Sunbury, Gisborne, my best mate, Risky and BJ there. Yeah. Always get into them. They reckon they're selling dreams. 24/7.
Selling dreams, not properties.
Selling dreams for 4 years.
He said it.
Sunbury, Gisborne.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the blue collar down there, mate. Great market, actually. Top 10 the last few years. I think he's trying to sell me a house.
He's a Sunbury boy at heart, is he?
But we always talk about real estate because I live with him, and it's a great topic because I don't know a lot about it.
It's great. Well, I got a...
So 4 years.
Yeah, like this is a very private school way of getting into a white collar job like I did. But my mum, she's the head of the nurses union here, the ANMF. So, I'm blue collar as well. Yeah, she's a union boss, my mum, we're not.
It's tough.
So that they were looking at selling their building because they were growing. So then, and yeah, the agents were CBRE. And yeah, the Josh Ruttman, who's I worked for 4 years, basically was trying to list my mum's thing. And I think as part of trying to list it, she goes, "Oh, my kid's looking again." And he goes, "Yeah, bring on down, get him on it." I met him and he goes, "Mate, we'll do work experience. So I can give you a day a week." This is sort of like leading into October, like the busy months, 2015. And about a week out from my, I wasn't doing anything else. About a week out, and it's unpaid work experience as well.
You listening to that, Jimmy?
He's getting red over there.
He's going to send me the invoice, I think. Yeah. One of the operations, like the head of the operations for the team, called me and said, "Look, Liam, like, can you do anything? Can you do more than one day a week?" And they'll be sending out a few mail outs if they're asking me that. So I said, "I'll do 5 days." And they were like, "Sure." I'm like, "Yeah, done." So for 3 months leading to the year, I did 5 days a week. Would have been 7 a.m. to 8, 9 p.m. Unpaid.
Wow.
Loving it, like really loving it, like new environment, like high paced.
Yeah, it's good.
Auctions on Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, like, selling buildings in the CBD, for millions and millions of dollars. I was just in awe really of it. And very sucked in. And then, they offered me a job at the start of next year as the database administrator. So basically standing on their database and, I was doing, other things. I really loved auctioneering. I loved that. I just loved the show of the auction, and they used to put the bells and whistles on. It'd be, Elizabeth Street, Friday afternoon, booming. They've got 2 TVs, with the bids. They got speakers, mic'd up auctioneer.
Full show.
Yeah,
it's
250 people there, like the agents walking around calling out bids. Like it was like, it was like art really to me. And so I slaved away for 12 months as a database administrator, basically getting business cards chucked at you, going, "Put that one in the database for me, mate." And then they said, "Do you want to be an agent?" And I said, "You sure?" And they said, yeah, sure. And then so I worked as an agent for the next 2.5 years, and then sort of stepped away late.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Not really.
Nah. Like I did. Like the highs were high and the lows were low.
Why were the highs high and why were the lows low?
Oh, because you sell. Like I remember I didn't sell anything for the first month, and my boss was up my ass. "When are you going to sell anything?" Rah, rah. It's 6 a.m. Why aren't you here? Like blah blah. Like walk us through how the campaign's going. You go, "Mate, why have you done X, Y, and Z?" So it was a brutal awakening for me. And then I did sell something about the 5th month in, and he goes, "Mate," he goes, you sold something quick, mate." He goes, "I didn't sell something for the first 12 months. I'm going, "You've just been up my ass for 4 months.
How good is that?
I haven't slept for the last 4 months, mate."
You bastard.
Selling something. And so, then you get, so it was tough. I did a lot in South Melbourne. Yeah,
tough market.
Don't go in the car with me in South Melbourne and go be like, "Yeah, sold that. 2.2 mil. I think we got for it." Yeah.
You're one of them, I sold this whole street.
There's an office. There's an office. Office building in Coventry Street. Sold all of that in there. Park Street's good. Yeah, I did my damage in South Melbourne.
That's great.
I remember it was an interesting crowd around where we used to sell as well, because a lot of brothels in South Melbourne still. I remember we got asked to walk through one because the guy wanted to sell the building.
Live.
Jesus. Was it in action?
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
They shut it down for 5, did they?
Yeah. Had the airpod in. So working in real estate. Working in real estate, it's the first thing you get. You go,
unbelievable.
You get the brown shoes. We had a rule: no brown in town. In Melbourne, you can't wear the brown shoes, and blue suits. You come in a grey suit or black suit. That's in your home.
Yeah.
So blue suits only.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, get the discount at MJ Bale, 20% off. You show your business card.
Yeah,
guys going database administrator. You're getting looked after.
Unbelievable.
That is fantastic.
How much did, and if you can, just the second part of this question, just define the roles of the people that are within your business, obviously the founders, but how much did working in real estate and having a sales background actually assist when Bae Juice arrived?
Oh, it's assist every day, really. I think one thing I learned from my real estate days is that they would get a good result and they wouldn't settle on the good result. There'd be times where, like I remember, I'll tell you the story when I sold my first property. It was level 3 at the 190 Coventry Street. Finally got a good bite.
and the guy put an offer in the same day. Now the people wanted 550 grand for this floor, and the offer came in at 580, which is already above. So I was like, well, done deal. Tell it to the vendors, get it signed today. And my boss goes, no. And he goes, go back and ask for 6. And I'm like,
Greedy dog.
I'm like, why? I'm like, if we already got 30 grand over, then what they want, they'll be stoked. He goes, go back and ask for 6. So they want a 6 in front of it. So I'll go back and go, yeah, they're gonna need a 6 in front of it to walk away from it. And the guy goes, all right. He goes, oh, give me 20 minutes, and I'm shitting myself. The 20 minutes went for about 3 hours. And I'm like, when's he calling back? Call back goes, yeah, fine, I'll do 600,000. And I was like, oh, it's amazing, right? Then we go out to the vendor's office to present this offer to them, and like you were ready to blow their socks off. You're giving them 50 grand more than they asked for, and yeah, anyway, we get there, and my boss starts talking. He goes, look, we got an offer at 600,000. I'm sitting there like so chuffed, you know.
Here comes the condition.
And he goes, I reckon we could get it higher. I'm sitting there going fucking under the table like that. And then we go out to and even the vendors are like, nah, 600's great. We'll take it. Done. And he's going, no, we'll get it. He goes, we'll get more out of it.
He sounds like an old mechanic, this bloke, just wanting the price.
Yeah, I know.
I know this
Felt like
in the industry.
I felt like a blonde chick walking up in my Suzuki Swift, and he's telling me, yeah, well, to take that, everything's done. Yeah, you're going to need all new fucking 4 wheels, all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't fucking believe it. And I was sitting, I'm going, nah, let's do it. Anyway, we go outside and we call this bloke up, and he's pretty furious.
Yeah.
Going, yeah, we thought he'd get it done at 6, but probably going to come up, you need to come up 20 grand.
Oh.
Guy's going, are you kidding me? And then about 5 minutes on the phone, he goes, yeah, fine, we'll do 620. We walk back in and he signed it.
Oh my
For like,
God.
you know, so I think to an extent I learned a bit about that, you know, like we probably, like to me that was taking too much risk. I know you got to have an appetite for risk in anything if you want to be successful. But yeah, I sort of learned, you know, like, so one great thing about working in real estate is you wore the soles of your shoes off quite a bit. So early days with Bae Juice, that's how we got into retailers, just going to IGAs, knock, speaking to the manager.
Really?
Yeah.
Put this on the shelf, you know. You've got the luxury, you can walk in and say there's nothing like it. You know, there's no other cream Pear Juice. People buying this product isn't going to steal sales off other products on the shelves.
Which is really important for them.
Well, I think like if we're a juice, yeah, like I think the pitch with that is more so it's going to be a basket filler. So they will buy an orange juice.
Add on, yeah.
But they'll buy this because it's different, it's functional, it's, you know, or they'll come in and, you know, a lot of those IJs have the liquor section.
Yeah.
They're going to buy a 6-pack,
Buy one of
make
these.
another $8 at the counter, mate.
I just thought of something. Is anyone like getting the Bae Juice, squeezing it out, and then throwing shots in it?
Surely. Surely.
Have you tried that?
Yeah, I've done it with a bit of gin and stuff, and like you've been at events and you know you got the vodka lime sodas, you know, the VLSs, and
The VLS.
the VLS, and yeah, you just pour it in there. But I think yeah, it'd be nice to sort of come up with a bit of a cocktail or some sort of, you know, like a vodka Red Bull. You know, like I can't imagine Red Bull sell much, you know, in the grocery store and a 7-Eleven, you know, unless there's, because even tradies coming in, like they're drinking the Monsters and, you know, the V's and stuff. Like I can't imagine Red Bull sales would be, you know, they'd probably be enormous. But, you know, I mean, like, so it's the one, I think they would have dipped off from where they were. They make all their money in F1 and soccer teams and all this, you know, extreme sports stuff. So, but Saturday night at the pub, yeah, you're opening a lot of Red Bull cans for vodka Red Bulls. So it'd be nice to come up with something along those lines.
I think you can. I think, and you are working at the pub just 1 day or 2 days a week, aren't you?
Yeah, a couple of days a week.
He
Yeah.
loves it.
He loves it, mate. He's a hustler.
We'll get into more about that.
I just want to own a pub. It's like owning a church.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
Can't be the same.
Just minus the priest.
Well, yeah. let's not touch on that. But you know what I mean? Like it's a community hub. You know, like not that you want to do it for this, but Brad and Nick, they're like celebrities in that joint. Like,
Ascot Vale Hotel we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, great
Everyone comes. Not that that's what you want to do, but it's just great.
Great little community.
Well, look, I'm on here because I work at this pub. I work at that pub. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because I met you there.
Yeah.
It's a great way to meet people. And you get great stories.
And great times at a pub. All you're doing is talking shit and drinking beer.
Everyone's your mate.
100%. And it's like, it's the only place that you go in as well. Like, it's not like a bar or like a club where people that go in, they're already there, they're already intoxicated, things like that. People walk in the pub sober. Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
And they, there's like 8 locals who sit around there. You'd be able to guess their name. Terry, Cashy, Rocket.
The old
Give me one more. Give us one more.
on.
There's a Trev as well. There's a Terry. Cashy's great.
Cashy,
I love that.
I love that.
He comes with a bag of coins. Those bank bag of coins. And he $3.50 puts 15 out on the table. He doesn't go home till they're all gone. Tills are overflowing. Then he grabs a bottle of Sav for his missus on the way home. But they're great. They're honestly great. Little side story that Rocket as well, Silver Fox, and I reckon he might have a few more pennies in the rest of it, right? Because he's always paying with hundreds. So, mate, do you have a printer at home? I'm checking it up with the lot. He goes, yeah, that's a good one though. I'll give you the duds. So he'll like every now after about the 6th pot, he'll shout around for them all. And the rest of the boys hate it because they're like, now I've got to bloody buy it around. They're like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Rocket. Like, I was paying for my own beers here. I was happy.
There's always one.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, the old rounds.
So coming back, sorry, Tom, it's just coming back to the just the roles that you guys played. How did you define your strengths and how did you define who's doing what out of the founders?
Yeah, well, I just think naturally it was like a time thing. Tim was working a lot at his cafe, so I had a lot of spare time, so it was made sense for me to I was more comfortable in sales than he was for sure, but it was made more sense for me. I had more time during the day to sort of go and knock on doors, so I went down that sort of avenue a bit. And then, Tim sort of looked after the social media sort of aspect. And we're always on LinkedIn as well, both hustling, messaging, annoying people really on that platform.
You touched on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been special for you guys.
Yeah, I just think every lead, every win that we've had for the business, you could sort of trace back to someone that we've sort of reached out to on LinkedIn. It's a very important tool. It's not like, Facebook, Instagram, where it's a bit creepy to sort of follow someone or, if you've never met them. I think that's, you get in a bit of trouble. And, I remember it was like early days of Facebook, you'd add someone you don't really know as a mutual friend and they'd pop up on your wall. Or maybe it just happened to me, but thinking, who the fuck are you? But LinkedIn's not like that. So it's like, you reach out with someone and just say, hey, mate, this is what I'm after. Or we were pretty blown away as well early days with sort of the people on the platform willing to help us that we'd never met and willing to help us for free or, intro us to someone.
Like-minded people on there, I've found.
Correct.
People that really do follow, you and your business and your ventures.
100%.
On social media, it's a bit... it's a bit of a fake lifestyle, to be honest, on Instagram. It's always highlights of how well you're going. It's that one highlight of the day. And when you're sitting on the couch, you're like, fucking hell, they're humming. LinkedIn is a real, cultural driven, passionate people that want to support you if they do connect with you. And you can obviously connect with people that know your friends. And it's as you said, I think we were discussing some stuff for the podcast on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all the same shit. It's just a different platform.
Yeah, apart from pouring you jugs and jugs of cores at the pub on Super Bowl Monday, our first conversation was on LinkedIn. But so we everything like they reached out to us, but we've got sort of consultants who help us with our retail stuff. We'd had 2 no's from Dan Murphy's early days when we just sort of, we're in a few IGAs here, we've got some runs on the board. Let's go after one of the big fish, So we went after Dan Murphy's and they said, nah, to us twice basically, and it was as blunt as that. Nah.
Did you communicate with these retailers via LinkedIn, or were you on a phone call with the people?
Well, yeah, you do. You add them. You add them. The category managers. You can jump on and hustle them. They're pretty busy people. Like,
were they responsive given you're a smaller brand at the time?
Yeah, but they are. They're responsive enough. They sort of say, "Look, mate, jump on."
Priority, mate. They got you down the bottom at the start.
Yeah.
You do know when you become a priority.
Yeah, they sort of like you basically we're in with a good chance. We're good now because we're having sort of email relationships with these buyers. But early days, it's a LinkedIn message. Go, this is a link to what they call a partner hub, and you set up a profile and you basically wait for the range review to come up. We say, well, we're looking at the fridge here for non-liquor in Dan's. If you you got to be in it to win it, basically. Put something, put a deck together, a little snazzy sort of deck, submitted it, and that was just a no twice. And then we got a trial with them in August 2020, which was
it's the foot in the door.
Yeah, trial with them, 16 stores, 10 here in Vic,
and it worked well.
Yeah.
So what was that? That's what a year and a bit into when you got your first shipment, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, it sounds quick. It does. It felt longer than that, but
sure. Yeah.
And I think But to my point with LinkedIn, the two consultants who help that side of the business and maintain relationships with us, with our category managers and people, who are decision makers at Woolies and Dan's and stuff, who have worked in those businesses. They'd worked for Chobani's, so some of them had worked for, a couple of them had worked for Coles in we're deciding what goes on the shelves, because that's basically all it is, really. Like, it's like the Premier League. It's like, 3 go down, 3 go up, right. 3 get deleted, 3 go, so there's not much. And sometimes, some years, it'll be like, wow, everything's performing well. We don't have any room on the shelf.
It's a bit of timing then.
Yeah. So August 2020, we got a 16, these guys pitching to us, and they reached out to us on LinkedIn, and we had a meeting with them, and bang, they're representing the brand, going to, setting up these meetings for us. We didn't understand the process around it. That's what we could pitch the brand passionately. We could tell you how we're going, but in terms of the process, which is really important, it's sort of like understanding, what, where you should go in commercials wise with, what you're offering, price point for them and things like that. And, making sure you're still making money at the end. And, you always, the first offer's never really often accepted, and then there's negotiations, but you got to learn more, about that. And then you learn about promotions and, what sort of like what the 2 different tiers of promotions are. And, so it's a nuts world, really, like how it all works. And, you do half price promotions. We did one of those, and our numbers went from 4 units per store a week to 13 units, the margins obviously cut quite a bit for that. House always wins.
Another one.
The house always wins.
We've got to clip all these metaphors up, Brayden, I reckon. Yeah, we're seriously.
We missed the one before.
We're just running these on. We've got to clip that on TikTok.
It works well on a bar, mate.
That's why you rate the pub. That's pub chat.
Yeah.
How difficult were some of these discussions? Like, I can imagine being you obviously really wanting to get in some of these major retailers. Was it a bit daunting? What were some of the big challenges for you through that negotiation or sales process?
Well, we talk a lot about obviously our from a 16 store trial in Dan Murphy's, and then we sort of had a go at Woolies and thought, the range review's coming up. Let's ask a question, and like positive from the get go, they're coming back and asking us about pricing and things like that, and all of a sudden they've said yes to us, and we're in we don't have many units here as well, so going into, 1,000 stores like it's that, amazing. Growing from 100 to 1,000, your distribution has to change real quick, and we just weren't ready for it really. So they sort of just put us in half the stores early doors, and just so we could get stock in, just order stock. And we're lucky with the manufacturer, where they just say, we need 2 containers now, and they go, right, done.
What are the turnaround times on a fresh shipment? So say tomorrow, I need more.
It was 4 weeks. Now with, how busy the ship lanes are with, I think we're coming off it a little bit, but there was a lot of shit. There's a bit of a shit show there for the last 6 months with COVID. You know, we're getting 40-foot containers in. We were paying 12 grand, you know, a year and a half ago. Now we're paying 24.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think we fly our sunnies through, you know, in the air now. Like, just get them here quicker because it just takes so long.
Yeah.
So you need to be really organised. And I've heard you talk about the consultants that come on.
Yeah.
You mentioned them already. Have they really helped you with all the structures?
Yeah.
And I guess just being, you know, just planning 6 months in advance, or I don't know how they do it for you, but the finances, what are they doing from a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so there's forecasting for sure.
Yeah.
But the thing with the other thing with these big retailers is data is so, you know, important for that, you know, how are we going on the shelf and how are we going today? Not how we, you know, they'll give you sales data over the last month, but, you know, it's 2 weeks, you know, we're already 2 weeks ahead. So how are we going? So, you know, we had a yes from Liquorland last December. They were going to put us in 800 Liquorlands and First Choice Liquors, which is amazing for us.
Yeah,
you know,
well
700, 800 stores, you know, first 12 months for us is $1 million revenue. Like that's just the first 12 months in that store. So it's, you know, life-changing money for us.
That's incredible.
So we ordered the house down in December. We were out of stock late October, early December we got, you know, 300,000 units in, thinking that'll get us in and we'll you know, through the Christmas period, through January, and then end of Jan is when we were going to start of Feb, we were going to go into Liquorland, and, you know, from the get-go, that's the biggest order they'll do because they got to put stock on all the shelves. And we sold, we were out of stock on the 10th of Jan. Like, you know, in 4 weeks, we'd done 300,000 units.
Wow.
We just didn't know that was going to happen.
Which is not the worst thing.
It's not the worst
And what
thing.
are they selling at retail price?
So they're $4 at Woolies.
$4.
Just, on your average
300,000
day.
units at $4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do the math, mate. That's 1.2.
That's frightening.
So like it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. So, you know, it's just, but we didn't expect that to happen. And unfortunately, a byproduct that, you know, you said before, said it's not a bad thing. It isn't. But then Liquorland say, were you ready to go? And so, no, we're not. We don't have enough stock. And then they go, and we're like, well, push it back a bit. And they said, nah, we'll see you at the next range review. So, you know.
So there's those
the deal.
things, right?
So you lose the deal. So, yeah, we lost that one. So, yeah, it's a kick in the guts. Like, I think, you know, we go back and say, you know, look at the positives from it and say, well, they said yes to us, you know. Now when we can go back in, you know, 6 months' time and go back and, you know, pitch to them again, you know, hopefully we'll have 6 months more of sales data, which will have improved from the last time we pitched to them. We'll be in a better position with stock and we'll be ready to kill it for them. But, yeah, like, so, yeah. You got one hand and you got Woolies.
It's funny. It's the hardest thing about starting something. It's the balance of, you know, how well you're going to go. And I do it as well. Like the orders, like, yeah, well, what if, you know, what if we go really well? And then you go, oh, but what if we over order? Then we're going to get, you know, to get clear it. And you're balancing all these kind
100%.
of forecasts. I kind of feel like that's such a stiff result. You know,
it's unlucky.
But in saying that, you'd go back to them, I'd imagine, and say, look how well we did. We've now learned from our lesson. Give us one more chance.
Oh, and we'll be going back blaming the shit out of COVID as well. You know, with that, you know, we can because that's the beauty about it's not just us having this problem with shipping and stock and
the whole world.
Whole world. So, you know, you can walk in. There's times you're walking into supermarkets and, you know, the freezer section, there's nothing there. And like, you know, so everyone's experiencing. So it's not just, geez, these Bae Juice bugs are going to get their shit together with it. They're going, oh, the Bae Juice boys are having the same issues as everyone else, you know. So
have you loaded up for units?
Loaded up.
You're loading up.
Loaded
and
up. Our manufacturer's about to shut down for 6 weeks to basically upgrade their system. So instead of doing 50,000 units a week for us, they could do 30,000 a day for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all new machines, is it?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's basically they can fill the juices up, you know, 100,000 a day, but the machine to put the cap on it.
Is that the one?
Yeah. We're the only product that really does it with them. And so they're just gone, you know, we'll pay for it. We'll do it. We just got to close for 6 weeks to do it, you know. So,
jeez, that's a spanner. How interesting is that just for the cap?
Well, the little things, mate.
Yeah.
They're ahead of their time with that cap.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So, you know, it looks like plastic as well, people. It's not a single, I just want to say that. It's not a single-use plastic. It's like an aluminium can, essentially. So it's recyclable.
So did you guys instantly start as an online store?
Yeah, but the first place you could buy our product was on the Endeavour Marketplace, which is Dan Murphy's Online, which is essentially an endless shopping aisle for them. Like you could start brewing a beer in your bathtub put a label on it and get it sold through Endeavour Marketplace.
And
probably.
then the plate.
Oh, really? So you're just putting it on, they're getting all the data, they're getting everything. Are they handling?
Yeah, you can go on the Endeavour Marketplace website and basically submit your product, and within a week you can be up there selling. For sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then when was the play? Was it, I mean, it might have always been a play, but you said kind of you didn't really have a business plan early, but to get it into retail stores. And then how many retail stores are you guys in now?
Just over 3,000, yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, what year is it now?
Well, since we've been in, it's year 4 now. You need year 4 now.
Did you just ask what year it is?
No, I meant what year they in.
Yeah. I got the question. Yeah.
Brandon thought that too. That's a chuckle over there.
Wake up over there. Jeez, I'm not that dumb. I mean, I got 28 at my ATAR.
Did you get 28?
Yeah, I was listening to your podcast about ATAR. That makes me laugh. I think
Timmy got the state secret. They got a little asterisk. I don't think he even knows what he got. I got a 55. My mum just opened the door and said, "You passed."
That's actually not a bad question. The old ATAR question.
Yeah, the ATAR. The reason was I slept in my exams, which obviously just murders your score. And I'll never forget it, mate. We're at the footy club and I was
sleeping in your
arrogance. He knew he was getting drafted.
Well, the draft was
that's true.
The arrogance.
Pretty much told you're going first round. So I thought, fuck school. This is literally the mindset.
But of course you would.
Not really though, mate. This is what bit me in the arse. Well, not really, but went to get picked up thinking, first round pick at at Freo. I'm going all right. Little did I know, like Lockie Neal's picked 76 and he's much better than me. It doesn't really matter what pick you go.
Yeah.
And you get
but don't take this the wrong way though, but like you sleep in your exams, you weren't throwing away an easy 90. Like surely you weren't going to go amazing anyway.
Nah.
So it's like
I put it all my eggs in.
No. Between 20 and 50.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just funny, funny story. No, I don't give a mate. Couldn't give a flying. I know I'm intelligent in certain ways, but doing score was just not enjoyable anyway. And then we're at the club and everyone's got their scores and everyone's like, here we go. And all the first years, about 6 of us, everyone's uploading their here it comes. And I just remember everyone had got their scores and I hadn't fucking got mine yet. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then I logged in. I didn't even have to log into my thing. Finally got it. And I'll never forget because mine took so long. Everyone's crouched around. They're like, righto, let's have a look. And it's like your ATAR score and it's coming up and there's this circle of death kind of thing. It's going around. It's like your score is below 30. Click this link to see your score. I'm like, what's that mean? Is that good? They're like, nah, mate, that's bad. I'm like, what do you mean? So I clicked it. It's like 28.45. And I was like, fuck. Is that and then everyone was like, this guy's so fucking dumb. The deception killed me, mate. It killed me straight away. Like, this guy's so stupid.
Where was that at? Was that Freo?
Yeah, at Freo. Yeah. And I remember, I think it was one of the old boys. Actually, 10 Diamond Zungu. He's a really good bloke. He's a ripper. I remember, having a laugh about it. He goes, it's nothing to be proud of, mate. And he's probably taking the piss, and I was like, "Oh mate, I think I fucked up here." And then
who was your coach at the time?
Ross Lyon.
Yeah, see, Ross is good. Ross came into he's good mates with, and he's actually in business now with my ex-boss, Mark Weisel. So who I worked with at Soapy's, Zach Dawson.
Oh, so Dawson's at So
I worked with Zach he's a ripper,
ripping fella,
absolute
ripping fella. I did uni with him, so it's funny how it all comes full circle because he couldn't whatever you call it, come over to all his uni down here didn't translate over there in WA, so we had to start again anyway. And then so I had to do courses to get into uni. So just for anyone out there that does get 28 on their ATAR, you can actually get back into uni. So I did all the courses, diplomas, all the rest of it. That was the pain point. You think if you're going to go to uni, you got to go do the courses. So got back in, and lucky enough, Dawson's and me, we're doing our degree together. Oh, degree, the fucking commerce. A couple of units there, and then sayonara, mate. It wasn't for me. Gee whiz, what a boring process university is.
Oh, it's tough.
And this is what we're talking about, because you went to uni and you just gave it up straight away. What was the one thing you just couldn't handle?
Oh, I just wasn't. I just wasn't ready for school again. That's what I felt like. I just finishing year 12 was the biggest monkey off my back. Because I was just like the whole way through, I was like, this sucks.
You feel like when you're at school as well, it's never going to win.
Day one at school.
It's the subjects, man. I'm a big believer that it's just outdated.
Yeah, it's a 100-year-old system.
And that's why I like sharing, because you don't have to get a good score to be successful. It's great that, you didn't give a stuff either and go to uni. You can do anything.
You also avoided a lot of debt, probably, after bouncing for 3 days.
100%.
Oh, that's another thing. You got to pay all the...
Mate,
back. Jesus.
It's ongoing for a while.
Day one at school, I was like, this sucks.
Oh, depends when PE comes around.
Yeah.
Who's this? Roll the sleeves up.
100%. Why can't we do this again?
We just need Elliot Loney's voice over there, PE teacher.
Yeah, no, absolutely enjoyed PA.
PE was great.
100%.
Second favourite subject at school?
I don't have a second.
I actually enjoyed math when I got real deep into the, they give you how to do it, and you just keep getting deeper, and then the worst part was, all right, guys, now do your homework. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, I know. We've been here for 6 hours. If you didn't teach us what you wanted to teach,
we're going to go home.
My time now. My time.
Yeah, it's golden.
I know,
That's golden.
But they've done well, the schools, because they've got it into the parents. So like homework, get stuff like this. No, this isn't a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Look, we're done at 3 o'clock here. As soon as I walk out the gates, I'm not thinking about it until I come back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's so true.
Funny.
We used to have like in maths. Those maths textbooks.
The thickest textbook in Australia.
But at the end, they'd have the answers to the question.
Yeah. Oh, that was the best.
They go, do exercise 13 for us. Yeah, no worries.
They actually
5
did,
minutes. Never.
But you have to show the formula sometimes, so the
We used
process.
to go back of the book. As the teacher's giving out fucking
He's one of the best founders in the country with a product. There's him talking about his school experience.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
How dumb is that, having the answers in the back of the book?
Absolutely. Of course.
And you got to pay that much cash.
Even in... don't want to say the N word, but even the nerds, I reckon, were there, even the nerds who were in class were going, you know what, I reckon I'm going to give the brain the night off. Just go to the back of the book. Just absolutely.
I'll tell you what, don't do. When I was in one of the exams, I just couldn't be bothered doing it, and obviously I was going to sleep, so I just looked right and copied the circle. You just copy the patterns of the multiple choice.
Oh no!
That doesn't work.
One of my mates, he'd done pretty well on the SACs, mainly because he cheated throughout year 12 in legal studies. I want to name him.
No, don't name him.
I won't name him. So he had
shame.
But he was worst subject. It was his worst subject. But he got A's like pretty much the SACs just by bringing cards in. Got away with it for 6 of them throughout the year.
That's incredible.
So
That's
he was
an
on track.
achievement.
But in the exams, it's different. You don't want to be
haunted.
Yeah,
more tests. Not exams. You can't cheat in exams. It's impossible.
Nah. So he faked a panic attack at the start of the exam and got out of the exam. And then basically got a median score or something. You get a they basically square it off. It'd be like hitting 600 at Augusta 3 days straight, and the last day going nut, and then they give you another 600 for the final round. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So he ended up getting like a 40 in legal studies.
That is one of the great highs. That is one of the great stories we've heard on this podcast.
We're in the exam room going, fucking know exactly what you're doing.
And you got to keep it really quiet. You've been pissing yourself.
But I felt it. I knew a couple of people. We weren't angry at him. We're going, fuck, I should have thought of that.
He's health and well-being.
Once someone's pulled a panic attack, you can't be copying that.
He's 3 even pulled a panic attack in 5 minutes.
He must be a very switched on unit.
Mate,
I've never heard anything like that.
That's one of the great stories on this podcast.
Yeah, he's done well.
I thought you were going to say he faked the panic attack, went out, got the answers, and come back. But he's pretty much been.
Nah, he got excused from the 2.5 hours of that.
They didn't make him resit another time or nothing.
Nah.
There you go, Jimmy. Panic attacks, mate.
Get the brown bag out, mate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Now, Tommy, do you want to ask some of your sections here?
Well, we've kind of gone on it, and you talk a bit of shit, but we do get back to the topics. Just the challenges and learnings you've, even throughout your life so far, but now that you do Bae Juice, what has been the most challenging thing? I thought to myself, if I was in your shoes, maybe the language barrier might be tough, but there could be anything with a small team, being lonely, or the growth phase, and even you've just touched on. I guess how well you did the first order, but you couldn't fulfill the second order with a major, retailer. Like, what else is there that you've come across that you haven't shared so far?
I think one of the challenges for us really has been, we've sacrificed paying ourselves a wage for 4 years. Only just now have we put ourselves on some cash for this. So, I do love hospitality, but a lot of it comes down to ego. Really, I think like it sort of controlling that, because you go, I'm 27 here, I'm working around 20-year-olds in hospo. My mates are coming in here slaving away, but they all think I own this booming business, and the business is booming. But so much. Why is it booming? Was because we have we've sacrificed $200,000 a year on wages. We go, let's put that into marketing for 4 years. So that's been sort of challenging because the other thing is and now I've sort of got the process. A lot of it's coming down to you don't have like a boss like you might have in other jobs where they sort of saying like, you're fairly independent in real estate, but you go, these are the things you got to focus on. It's all up to you. You got to do all the thinking. What should I do this week to, cover this spare 8 hours I've got, like that's sort of, how can I fill that time and grow the brand and, be productive and things like that rather than just doing fuck all. So, a lot of that's come down and then, you work like for 3 years at Tim's Cafe, I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. I didn't have a weekend. So I could have the week free to do Bae Juice stuff, go out a couple of nights on the weeknight just to fucking, because I'm not going to be like a Mark Wahlberg where I'm, up at 4 in the gym 8 times, 7 breakfast, 8 showers before 7 a.m. You know what I mean? So
it's insane. Yeah.
So, a bit of an exaggeration.
Slightly.
But you know what I mean? Like, we did that, but then you're also giving away your weekend, and then, you've sort of also burning a lot of gas, working in hospital on your feet, like it's a pretty fast paced environment, when the joint's busy.
How was your social life just through that period? Like, did you kind of give that up in a sense, or was the Bae Juice kind of clashing with it as well? Yeah, like one of the good things that Tim's moved up to Burleigh, like, we're not so reliable on each other at the moment, we spread our wings a bit more because, because we were on it was the same routine. It was, work at his cafe on the weekend so we could have meetings, and, sort of, I suppose, be in touch with people in our industry and connect with people in our industry. It had to be a weekday thing. You can't be, great, we got Saturday off, finally. Let's go and, try and reach out to some of the Coles. It's not going to happen because they're going to be there. So, we were sort of really big on, just us doing the weekends, smashing the weekends. But then you also underestimate, you go, get to Sunday and go, great, like finish my work because it feels like work. But then you've actually got to get back on the horse and grow this brand that's not paying you because you can't afford to pay yourself at this stage or whatever it is. But it's got to be done.
Huge sacrifice.
That's massive, mate.
I think the first, like after the, in a way when the first shipment came, it felt like job done.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest part because you're like, now this is where the risky stuff starts.
Absolutely.
Just on that second order, how risky did you go?
Same again.
Load it up.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is our shelf life's 18 months.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
100%. I was reckon early days I was speaking to this chick who was like, I was making a bit of song and dance about us going on LinkedIn. I was going into, IGAs and here we are. I was taking photos with the managers like, this is me best, mate.
Wheeling and dealing.
Wheeling and dealing. And like, it was good. You build up great relationship with these blokes. And now, our first RGA, we're in ALM now, which is, they're basically a warehouse for products that go into IJs and stuff. And then the manager jumps on the portal and he orders stock from ALM and then the warehouse drops it off. They don't actually have a sales team putting you in. So you actually got to go and get some stores yourselves and then send a pallet to ALM so it actually sells through. But our first retailer, big IGA retailer was just around the corner, Toorak Road, South Yarra. He still calls me that bloke and,
fantastic.
That's awesome.
It just changed managers, unfortunately. But he just calls me and he goes, I'll get 10 boxes. I said, order 20, mate. And he goes, all right, done.
Upgrading.
Upsell. So you got to do that a bit. But it's pretty cool, all the relationships you make and stuff like that. But
it is cool, man. You get to meet heaps of people. You definitely love, socialising.
That's the best part about business. Some of the relationships you form.
100%. You got to make it cool as well with it. Because at the end of the day, if you're a manager at IGA or Foodworks, it's a 9 to 5 for you. You're not there for, to do maybe, but you're not there because you're like, I want to be a manager of a supermarket. It's my passion. Like, surely not. So, so it's just a paycheck for them, which is fair enough. Like, we all like work jobs that we're don't like, but you got to pay the bills some way or another. So, you know, if you can go in and be like, this is my product, and, you know, sort of get them involved. No, we're not around, you know, you'd be taking a big chance on us, you know, we'd appreciate it, you know, all this kind of stuff, and I humanize it, you know, tell the story a bit more, which we've always been good at selling our story more than the product.
It's great.
Important to sell yourself as well. Sell to yourselves and sell yourselves more than anything. You know, you get one or two who will put you on the shelves because they go, you know what, I like this bloke. You know, he's having a crack.
Yeah.
Face to face, and the Zoom meetings are done almost.
Yeah.
I hope they are. I don't understand people work. Like, if you're this is something that grinds my gears. I see it a bit on LinkedIn recently. Those big companies that are going, we're going down to a 4-day. We've announced that we're going down to a 4-day work week, and all the staff are stoked. Of course they're fucking stoked. You've got a 3-day week. I know there's probably research and stuff out there that, you know, suggests, you know, that people are more productive over 4 days. But people that go on to work for that business now, knowing they're getting a 3-day, are they going to work for you for the right reasons?
Probably not.
Yeah. Because I'm going there going, Monday to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I get the same pay, you know. I just don't think they should be deserving a round of applause. I think we have to look at a bit more as why are weekends? So weekends are great because they feel rare, you know. It's because they're shorter than the week. That's what makes a weekend special. And then when you get a long weekend like we've just had, it's Christmas. But so it's kind of just like, what's going on? When has working 5 days a week become an issue?
It's more the quality of work. I'm a big believer that I've been speaking to a few mentors in my space, and one of them recently, and he talks about how he's changed his life with his, you know, just his routine, like a 5 to 9:30 routine, and, you know, spends the first 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. like on his personal development.
Yeah.
And he reckons he's never been more productive from 10 to 1. He goes to get more done in that 3 hours than I would in the whole day.
Yeah.
Because he's meditated, he's exercised, he's cleared his mind, he's done his journaling, he's done everything. His diet's immaculate, his sleep's great, his routine's fantastic. So this whole 4-day, 5-day, whatever it is, comes really down to the
individual.
The individual, the routine, the love of the job, the actual vision for the company, the goals for yourself and the company and where you sit. And I always get into mates for the 9 and 5 because it's like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you've got a dream and you're sitting, you know, I'd say, Jimmy, you've got a big dream over there, you want to do something, just do it. Don't just go work because, you know, you've been told that that's what you got to do. You got to go to school, you got to go to uni, you got to go and get a job, and then what? You're going to be 30, and you're going to say, "Fuck, I wish I started that Bae Juice when I was 18."
100%. Well, I reckon as well. Like I've said it before. I used to get on the train at 7 a.m. To go to Xavier, you know, from bloody Ascot Vale, Moody Ponds, an hour and a half trip every morning. A lot of miserable people on the train in the morning.
Yeah. I actually ran a test on this because I really despise catching trains. I don't despise public transport because it's actually quite efficient, and particularly in some parts of the world. Like the tube in the UK is more efficient than driving.
Yeah.
But I ran a little exercise on it when I always used to listen to music because I was like, just, you know, it's what you do. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to turn my music off and listen to the train. And mate, you could hear a pin drop going to work every morning. I do it, and it was just like motivation of like, I don't want to catch a train. Whatever I do, I don't want to catch it because it's just everyone's just fucking unhappy.
I used to say this to my parents. I lived in Riddles Creek and went to EKC, so it was like for the last 2 years of school, and Mum would drive me to Tullamarine, Dad would pick me up, then drop me off at school, and they were like, "Mate, you can get the bus," and I'm like, I think I did it twice, and I'm like, I'm not getting the bus. I fucking hate it. Just like, again, it's a lot of time sitting around. You got to catch another one. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it, and the same reasons. Like, I'd sit there and just be silent for
You get in a bit
hours.
of a bad mood as well. Like you see like people clashing over, oh, that was my seat, or move over, or this or that, and all of a sudden there's and your energy's off.
Especially if you're a school kid as well, you're not getting a seat.
Oh yeah, you throw your bag next to you.
I'm like, if there's a pregnant woman or an old lady who looks like she can't walk who gets on the train, I will get up for it.
Yeah,
if you are a 35-year-old bloke in a suit, you're fucking standing, mate. I got you first. You know what I mean? Like,
oh mate, and it's a bloody core exercise on some of these things as well. You're flying around.
But I think a lot of people just,
But let's just talk about. On the flip side, I've been in New York, and on the train, you're catching nothing but the train. They're doing full circus shows. Blokes are doing
it's different in different places. You're right.
The culture over there, like, you know, you might have the next Justin Bieber just sitting next to you. You just tip him, get off. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, just to come back to this, because we love one of the things we love in Aces in Business is like the wild experiences, the pinch yourselves moments, and we've had some pretty crazy ones so far. But has there been any sort of moments for Bae Juice where you've turned a real corner, or you've had to pinch yourself? And say,
the Woolies deal is game changing for us. Really, that's because that gives your brand. You go, oh. Because I think a lot of people, and understandably, look at our product and be like, reduces hangovers, get fucked. No way that works, But there's also, so you align yourself with a brand like Woolies, and you go, well, this supermarket's back this hangover.
I can only imagine the punter on the street saying, "Fuck off, mate."
Yeah.
And go, well, it's stocked in Woolworths, and they'll go, "Fucking is it?"
Yeah.
And then they go, "It must be good."
Yeah, 100%. So it gives your brand a lot of credibility.
Yeah, huge.
And then you walk around this. Everyone's been walking around the supermarket for years. Like since you were a kid, your mum would push you in the bloody trot that you'd sit in that fucking uncomfortably wire thing that just like pinch your ass. But
as much as that's like a massive moment for you, because for us on the outside we're like, oh, they've made it, they're there. But for you now, is it like, how do we stay there? Like, is there so much work you guys got to do to stay on there, keep it relevant?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a scary first 6 months there, but this is like some advice. If I was to give advice to someone starting a product like ours, or just anything, you just got to be a yes man, because or you're a yes woman. Like basically you've just got to just try things. If you don't have the money to do this marketing campaign, you beg, borrow, hustle, do whatever to get it, or just say yes and work it out when the invoice comes. So just because what's that allowed our business to do is to really just find out what works, so first 12 months of Woolies, we try A, B and C, one of them is, doesn't the sales, not sure. Then we do a campaign on TikTok, 15 grand, put it into that. And the Woolies buy calls us and goes, what the fuck's going on? The sales are just shot through the roof.
Yeah.
So that's a hard thing as well. Like if you're running an e-commerce business, you can track the customer from when they got out of bed to when they bought your product. That's how amazing this data is. On the shelf, not so much. You can you can't find out who bought it, where they where they fucking live, like how they got there. All is that they were in the supermarket and they picked it off the shelf. That's all you know. But you can make some pretty sort of, I suppose, accurate assumptions to be like, right, we've just done a $15,000 TikTok campaign, where we've given it to all these influencers, and the influencers are great because, it's just like you get a lot of organic reach from it as well, because this one guy posts a video and he gets, 1,000 comments, and each comment, they're like, he's like, where can I buy this? Where's this? Blah, blah, blah. And he's commenting saying it's $4 at Woolies, chilled section at Woolies. So he's doing all the work for you. So you can sort of make an assumption, right, because we did that. But now we know, we're going into a new retailer. We want to make a big song and dance about it. Well, what are the 5 things that we have to do that we know we can take our sales from here to here? And that's because we've also done 9, 10 things more that have just been basically, we should have just thrown the money down the toilet.
Trial and error. Trial and error.
Yeah.
Until you find the sweet spot.
100%. So you just got to work out, and sometimes things will work better than others, and sometimes things won't work, and then they'll work at, at different stages. But it's, we think we've got a pretty bulletproof formula to launch a product in a retailer now, where we know we can be sustainable in that retailer, and not only be sustainable and get the retailer going, patting you on the back. And they're it's tough love from a retailer as well. They're never going, but you guys are fucking killing it. Yeah. They're going, we're happy with the performance.
Yeah.
Literally, you've had 30 kick turns, you played your role.
Yeah. That's what we expect.
Definitely. We'll get the review. Play me fucking role.
Won us the game.
Paper is the best on, baby.
Oh, mate, that's a great lesson, though.
So it's a bit like that. So, if you're in the game to get words of affirmation from a retailer, it's not going to happen.
It's a ruthless industry.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Just on that, so TikTok's been really strong.
Yeah, TikTok. Well, it's funny, you guys. What you sort of. You guys looked at each other like we're talking about this before.
We've got to love brewing with TikTok.
Yeah. I don't actually have the app on my phone.
It's pretty addictive. It's obviously fast paced, but it's it's a bit different.
Just breaking the dimensions of all the other ones, I think, and it's really challenging other ones to catch up. I mean, the algorithms and stuff of how quickly it picks up what you're interested in. You can make money off it.
Yeah.
The way you can go live, promote businesses.
Well, the reason we got on it is because we got a call from an agency in Queensland, and they said, "Look, have you guys done anything on TikTok?" And we're like, "Nah." They go, "You got like a million views on your hashtag." On hashtag Bae Juice.
Wow.
And like we hadn't done anything on TikTok.
Did you have no account, nothing?
No, nothing. But
people just smashing Bae Juice.
Smashing it on the thing, yeah. Wow. So like, 1 million views, impressions, or whatever it's called, like that's what we had on it. And so, we had a good head start for sure on it. Yeah.
Just on that, so you've obviously got, the 3 co-founders, and now you're in year 4. You just spoke about the people up in Queensland. Do they handle all your kind of activations with marketing? Like how many people involved in the business now? And
there's a few, there's a lot. Like there's more shareholders. Like we're just about, there was a deal announced last year that's, with the Untitled Group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So those boys running obviously big events and, they had a tough time during COVID, obviously, but, a huge database access, great sort of demographic in terms of pushing our product, with that crew, the party animals of the world. That's obviously massive for us.
That's great.
So, we've essentially given them some shares for them to come on and us to be able to activate their events for
so how many shareholders are there now?
There's about 6 or 7.
That's awesome. So, it's doubled.
Yeah, 100%. And we want to we're about to do another raise as well. We want to get some more money in the door. We're pretty keen to having a crack at America later in the year.
I was just about to say, what's next? We might as well ask it now. What's next?
Well, my cousin's obviously over in New York. He's vice president at Barclays Bank over there.
Beautiful.
And he and a friend over there, they've also got products. And have you been to the Charlie Street Cafe in New York?
Is it Aussie?
Yeah, it is Aussie.
I may have. I've been to most Aussie cafes.
Yeah, so they've got a cafe in New York they run there, and they also do a lot of plant-based products and stuff that are in Walmart and things like that. And, part of the byproduct for them coming on is, Tim and I winged everything from day one with his business, including the finance side. And we are shit at that. So we've just got a meeting after this with our accountants at 10 a.m. and I'm probably going to get, 12 p.m. with Pitcher Partners and new accounts, and they've just looked at the back end, fixing everything up for us essentially. So it'll be pretty funny.
That's
Absolutely.
great.
That's
what the fuck's
fantastic.
going on here? I heard someone the other day sort of say, with when you're building a brand, the first few years, you just got to be your hype man, spruiking for the brand. And often what happens with startups is they'll accelerate and they'll grow. Some of them will grow really fast. And then there's also this period where they go, fuck, we need to fix all this back end shit.
And that's why you raise cash, though. You get people in these roles.
100%. So they've obviously got some great experience over in the States. He's been there for 10 years. So they're sort of coming on playing sort of CFO roles for our business. And so we're going to start sort of pitching some retailers and get some product over there. And
it's awesome.
I'm pretty keen to get over there as well myself.
If you need anyone for like a Super Bowl event or...
Mate, we're proud to be ambassadors, mate. We're proud to be hype men.
Yeah. So I've never been to the States.
Haven't you?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Oh, mate, you'll love
What a way
it.
to go there.
So like... have you guys been everywhere in America?
Nah, not everywhere, but I've been a fair few spots.
So like California, you've been to California?
Yeah, love it.
Texas?
I have, yeah.
So from going to those areas, where would you suggest that we
I think ACL Music Festival it's in October in Austin.
Yeah.
I'd go there. Coachella just happened. I think it's on now, maybe you've missed that one.
Are you talking about visiting or for your product?
Well, So I'm talking about... because the reality is America's so big. If we clock one state, we'll shit on the numbers.
I reckon.
Yeah.
California's the one.
A lot of people are saying that.
But in saying that, I reckon my mail is everyone's going to your Dallas and your Texas. A lot of people are moving that way.
Florida's could be.
So I don't know. It doesn't really... To be honest, mate, you only need to nail New Orleans or somewhere. Just nail one. It's bigger than Australia. But
100%. That's what's the exciting thing.
New York would be tough. It's a very competitive spot. California 100%. Is massive. Everyone just thinks, Los Angeles.
It's got a summery vibe.
I love San Diego. I'd love to go there.
Yeah, up the coast there.
Yeah.
You dominate. we've got some connections at Newport we can get you in touch with. But I think you do really well, mate. ACL Music Festival would be, if you need a Toyota Corolla at the front, I'll happily stand out there with the Bae Juice logo, mate, and throw at people, because there's a lot of people that walking into that festival.
Right.
I reckon if I was you and I was in the team, I would plonk a massive Bae Juice car, hand them out while they're walking in, and just say preventing hangovers. And I reckon everyone will go in. There's like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people.
Jesus.
Like when we're going there, just to wind back, like Jay-Z headlined on the first night, Chili Peppers. I can't think who the last one was, but you didn't know where to go. There was stages everywhere, so everyone comes for this. And I think F1's on the weekend after, so you could probably go back to back.
That's in Vegas this year.
Yeah, that'd be my advice.
It's another race. It's the fastest growing sport in the States right now, Formula One.
I wonder if that's down to Netflix.
It is. Yeah. It is all down to that. That's why this Grand. The numbers they had at this at our Grand Prix this year are record breaking.
400,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's like the most attendees in a race weekend across the world ever.
It's because it's now people understand it's more than the car. Like it's actually, there's so much depth and politics to the sport.
I used to love Mark Webber. Like I love Mark Webber when he was driving for Williams, like ages ago.
Yeah.
And then when he came to Red Bull, he didn't win a race for his first 200 Grand Prix starts.
Yeah.
He almost won a championship. I used to love him, absolutely love him. So I got into it then. And I'm just only started watching Drive to Survive.
Oh wow!
Oh god,
it's one of those things where I'm going, why the fuck am I only watching this now?
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable.
Scenes for anything, really. Everyone just wants to see.
Right.
You get to fall in love with certain characters. You start to not like a few.
100%.
You start to cheer against or for. It's great.
Exactly. Oh, they're nuts. They're massive business.
Probably the best thing they've done for that sport.
Absolutely. Now, I reckon we jump into these listener questions here. Some of these random questions that we've thrown out.
Yeah, it's been great. We've obviously gone for a while. You got that meeting at 12. So
what is this on?
11:50. So
maybe we
do you want to send an email?
Nah, fuck it.
Well, do you want to open this one up, Tommy? This is a little bit your segment. We've got some common questions we ask our guests.
Yeah, so just random ones. Anyone out there, you got the work experience kids over there that want to learn. What would be the best TED Talk that you would recommend a young entrepreneurial type of person to go watch?
Go watch Simon Sinek talk about Start With Why. YouTube that one.
Bang.
It's amazing, that one. That was a life change. That was a real game changer for me watching that. I remember it was when I was trying to get into real estate, and I somehow got a meeting with the head of the RIV, and he was kind of just he was sort of going out the door, but he sat down with me, and he was sort of, why are you going into real estate? And I was sort of probably telling him, I can make heaps of cash, mate.
I'm a capitalist.
He goes, go home and watch this video. So it's it's really Simon Sinek, and he sort of talks about what drives people. He's got this formula. It's really good.
Fantastic. We'll have to check that out.
Is there a book that you'd... are you a book man or an audio man?
I only just really become a book man. I can read Specky McGee once when I was,
Great book, by the way.
Only book I've read. Grandma Johnson, The Boys. Fucking good enough for Gary Lyon to write it. I might write me out. Yeah. I can actually read it.
There's no way Gary Lyon, by the way, off the top, wrote one word in that book.
Little commission job there.
Yeah, straight out the back. Just
there you go.
That was like before the time. That's it's an influencer basically for that book. But I have become more self-educated. Like Herb Cohen's got a little 100, and I like the small ones.
Yeah.
Don't give me a fucking Bible.
This.
That's why just
no phone books, please.
Blinkist. There's an app out there, Blinkist, and it just blinks through all the books. So it pretty much gives you 15 minutes of the book. It just digests the whole thing.
That's a Tommy Sheridan.
Spits out the key points like the lawyer, mate.
Like that could
Talk
be
to me like a Labrador. And so I tune into that a bit. So if you said go, what book is it called?
Herb Cohen, you can negotiate anything, but it's 100 pages. I smashed it out in 2 days, which is record time.
Well, they'll smack it out in 15 minutes.
That's fantastic.
I'll be on that. Blinkist.
I tell you who will be going on that is the bloke who had a panic attack through the exam.
The old shortcut.
100%.
That's brilliant. What's your...
the other thing as well, just quickly... Matt McConaughey, if you haven't read his Green Lights.
Oh, is that good? I haven't.
Unbelievable. And the best thing about it is I was reading it, in my head, and when I could hear his voice. It was like listening to an audiobook because his voice is so well known. So I'm not going to try and do the voice because I can't do it. But every time I was like reading it just in my head, it sounded like he was reading it.
That's awesome.
No, but I mean, I'm just reading. He does do an audiobook, but I'm saying when I was just reading it by myself.
Oh, when you read it, when I was just reading it, he done his own audio form.
Yeah, I know, and his audio form is it's made.
He could make a killing in that world.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Now, this is probably a good one for our good mate over here, Jimmy, but do you have best advice for young uni students or even entrepreneurs starting out?
Yeah, it probably goes back to what I was saying before about, just sort of taking risk and saying yes to everything. And, like if you've got an idea, go just like if you can sort of just start it, just get it going. Like, you don't have to like do what I did and quit a nice wage and commission based job to go and do it. There's still definitely like I look back now and I go, oh, you know what, I maybe could have sort of stuck around for another year and earned some good cash while I was just getting this started. But also, there's one angle where I look at it and go, you know what, like that first 12 months was just such a slog that maybe we wouldn't be here if that hadn't happened. So, I think it's like. While I worked in real estate, they're always like, find what you're passionate about and, find your purpose and all that kind of stuff. And, trying to pretend to myself that, I'm passionate about real estate. It's my purpose.
Yeah.
You've
Easier
sort of, you will work that out. You can be a bit invincible, really. Like I'm not passionate about creating Pear Juice, but I'm passionate about running my own business and, you get to do it with your good mate and things like that. So there's certain perks. Just give it a crack. Just get out there and just.
Great advice. Great advice, ladies and gentlemen.
Love that. Give it a crack and
jump on LinkedIn as well, for sure. Obviously, like, start annoying people on LinkedIn.
So that's LinkedIn techniques just for, young people.
Just go and connect people and message them. Like if someone messages me, like I'm meeting this kid tomorrow who's like, I'm working in banking, but I got this idea. Love your product. Can we have a yarn? Sure, mate. Let's have a chat. Go get a coffee. Like I will do that for anyone because a lot of people, that's what we experienced and what we were overwhelmed with early doors of people just reaching out and connecting us to this bloke, but yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I'll always do that.
Yep.
It's so rewarding as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, a common one, and this is, we're going to lean on your network here a little bit, but we ask all our guests, who would be a good guest for Aces in Business?
Think about this question, and we were touching on Formula One, like I was just thinking, fuck, only this was a week before the Grand Prix because you'd love to get like a snare of Daniel Ricciardo on.
I tried.
We
I've actually got a mate that's
his trainer.
His trainer's like cousins of the mate of mine. They had a hectic schedule, so
that would have been like
Danny boys out there, mate. We want you.
Yeah, 100%. Danny. And you might need to get your own private jet for this if this takes off this podcast. And now that I've been on it, might, but I'm only kidding. But you know what I mean, like because you just can't catch him now. He's here for one weekend and then he's away.
Right.
I mean,
if you want a driver, I do like this is not a cross promotion. We sponsor an F3 driver, Dylan Young. He's from this area.
Oh, awesome.
He used to drive an F2. He came to us on LinkedIn again. Was like basically I'm up against kids and their billionaire dads, and I need money so I can basically I need sponsorship or else I don't get to drive my car, which is my passion and stuff. And we love that. We love that about him. So
how's he going?
He's good, and he's. I think he might have won an F3 championship a couple of years ago. But yeah, he's had teammates across his time that are now driving. Like Mick Schumacher's kid, I think it's Mick Schumacher.
Yep.
So was his teammate right round Michael's accident and the stories he has to tell about what the Schumachers were like at that time are pretty phenomenal. But he'd be great to get on as well.
Where is he in the world at the moment?
I think he might be in Europe at the moment.
We'll have to check the F3 comp.
Another one of the Untitled group. They'd be fantastic to sit down with as well.
Get the boys on for sure. Yeah,
that'd be great energy. Well, mate, honestly, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for your time.
Mate,
everyone out there,
thank you very much.
Bae Juice,
a bit of Bae Juice in you, mate.
You're going to drink some piss this weekend. Make sure you head to... Where are we heading?
Huh?
Heading everywhere.
Dan's, BWS, everywhere.
Just grab one of these off the shelves, $4. I might smash one as well, mate, behind you.
Oh, mate, they're really nice. Actually really tasty.
And that's all we've got. So thanks for listening, everyone. Let us know what you think, and if you want to get in touch with the great man, slide in his DMs on LinkedIn and he'll be having a coffee with you.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to another episode. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, please feel free to hit us up on our social channels at Ausmerican Aces. If you're entertained, inspired, or feel more educated, please share it with your friends and family because we appreciate the support. Righto, catch you on the next one.